We've been meeting some of your friends. One of your friends that you brought over from the locker room, Stacy Dissatel, Ardent Roof Systems. Could be one of the nicest guys on the planet. Like, I've never met a nicer dude.
Has an annual golf tournament, a charity golf tournament, where he raises money, and this is the 5th year this year, July 5th at the Ranch Golf and Country Club. He has raised over $65,000 with this tournament for the Child Life Program.
How many years has he been doing it?
This will be the 5th year. The 5th year.
Him.
Yeah, and you can sign up if you want. Go to the webpage. There's a sign up sheet right there, ardenroofsystems.com. The title sponsor, which just signed up last week, is a Canadian company, Pioneer Golf Company, and we've got a couple of the founding members of that company on with us today.
Yeah, we're going to chat with them. I want to show you their website before we go. Pioneer Golf Company. I'm a big, as you know, big golfer.
Yeah, I know.
There are a few companies out there that will turn your golf experience into something about 500% cooler. Pioneer Golf Company is one of them.
It's a great webpage.
Oh my God. And I'm a gearhead. I'm one of those dudes. It's like, show me more. Show me more of the things that you're doing to make golf a little cooler. And these are Canadian made, small batch golf accessories. You can check them out. Attention to detail. Some of the stuff that they do is incredible. Not only they got golf towels, regular golf towels, head covers, which are really cool. They got a bunch of different ones. You can check out their catalog. Go to pioneergolfcompany.ca. I want you to check out their sticks. These are golf clubs, minus the head, right? The shaft, if you will. Dude, they go old school with this stuff.
Oh, cool.
Look at that. They got custom etching you can do, make it look like it's wood. They got junior sticks. This is like one of those things that makes golf cool. And there are a few companies out there that do that. I don't know if there are any Canadian companies out there that have been this much of a vanguard when it comes to, personalizing the golf experience to make it a little bit cooler, to make it like more of an a la carte thing. I'm not sure, but these guys are awesome. And I only got to know them because they came on as a title sponsor for the golf tournament, right? For Stacy's golf tournament with the Ardent Roof Systems thing for Stella, the Child Life Program. And they're here today, and I want to meet them. AJ and Sarah, your friends from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Is that correct?
Bring them on.
All right. AJ, Sarah. See, look at the flare they got in the background. Look at that. And you know what? Here's the thing. This is a husband and wife team. And they're smiling, and they're still business partners. Check that out.
Yeah.
Check it out. There's a husband and wife team, and they're smiling, and they're still business partners. Nice to meet you both. How are you?
Good.
Well.
How are you guys?
Yeah, we're really good. Really good. You're in Edmonton. Lachlan's in Edmonton. Tell me a little bit about Pioneer Golf. Did I kind of surmise what you guys do fairly well off the top? As a golfer, it's easy for me. Lachlan's not a golfer. I didn't really trust him with your reputation there for a second.
No, absolutely. So we basically do small batch, high-end leather head covers, as well as some hickory alignment sticks that are fully customizable.
Yeah.
We recently acquired a company in the fall of last year, so we've kind of ramped up our production and what we're able to do. So doing a lot more stuff with golf courses, corporate, just kind of anything golf accessory wise, we kind of got our fingers in it. So
yeah, well, good for you because it's super cool stuff. You guys been married a long time?
Yeah, it'll be 5 years as of December.
Yeah. How long have you been business partners?
Shortly after that.
Locke, could you be your business partner with your wife? Do you think that would work out?
I'm gonna be very careful on how I choose my words here, but let's just say, and I love my wife. We've been together a long time.
And
but
she's the professional in the family, right?
Yes, the separation during the day was a strengthening position for our relationship.
Yeah,
I appreciated the fact that I got to go away from the house, and I think she probably benefited from me being away from the house.
Not only benefited,
appreciated
it probably more than you, right, Sarah?
Yes.
Like,
I've never understood that couple that gets up, they make coffee together, have a quick bite to eat, get in the car, drive to work together, and then spend a whole day working together. That is I don't know how else to
How does it work,
reference
Sarah?
that.
I'm not talking to AJ right now. I'm talking to Sarah. How does it work? I
So-
want the truth.
I think the savior here is that AJ is still working full time outside of Pioneer. So I think we still do have that separation for right now. So
Yeah. That's good.
we're okay for right now.
That's good.
Just right now. I love it. She's like slow playing that one.
When
We're
did you-
okay right
So
now.
you've been married
She's
for
putting
5 years.
AJ on the blast too. She's
Yeah.
like, "We're okay right now, aren't we, AJ? Right? Right now we are. Just
Today's
saying."
good. Today's a good day. So you guys have been married 5 years. You got into business shortly after getting married. So when did you start Pioneer Golf Company?
It would have been I guess the winter that we did get married. I'm also a bit of a golf sicko, gearhead. Always wanted different head covers, would paint fill my own irons, just try to be a little bit different. So Canadian winters, you got a lot of time sitting around with not a whole bunch to do. I had an idea that I wanted to try and make my own head covers. So spent probably a little bit too much time trying to figure it all out. And eventually we got to a point where we were able to turn out a usable product. And from there, it just kind of expanded and grew. We honed our skills, kind of adjusted things, tried to make our products as good as we possibly can. And now we're at a spot where we got an 8,000 square foot warehouse, employees, and we're producing equipment and gear for like all over Canada.
That's insane. Yeah, it's
I
a great
love
story.
that story. I absolutely love that story. So you just took this passionate thing that you were a total nerd about, AJ, and you get married, and your wife's like, "You love this stuff too much," and you're like, "I should probably do it for a living." And most people in your situation would be like, their wife wouldn't be super supportive. They'd be like, "You know what? Head down, do your job, keep making the money. Let's not put out a whole bunch of capital so you can follow your passion into bankruptcy," right? But that's not the case. Like, you started this 3 years ago. So Sarah, did he have to twist your arm, or do you believe in him that much, or were you like, "Oh, maybe he's just really good at this stuff"?
Honestly, it was a matter of he became so good at it. He didn't mention this, but he was the one that was doing all the sewing and taught himself how to sew. So it kind of was like a slow progression. And then he would turn out a usable product, and then our friends would see, and then our friends wanted head covers. And then it just kind of, okay, well, let's turn this into something. Let's get a Shopify store. Let's get a company name. So it kind of was like a slow progression, but I guess in a short amount of time. So it kind of just flowed really well. And we kind of just like rolled with it. And now we're here. So
I think
I
a lot
love
of
these stories.
Yeah, I think a lot of people though did probably downplay their involvement in the company, right? AJ, good for you, but I think what ends up happening too in a good partnership, and obviously you guys are a good partnership, and you guys have had success, massive success. I think Sarah probably fills a role that maybe AJ didn't necessarily fill. And so you guys made a good team, and probably both deserve some credit for where the business is at today.
AJ's a dreamer, isn't he? You're the button-down person that likes to do the details, and you're like, is that how this relationship works, Sarah? Right?
honestly, it's kind of a mixture on both ends. Like it just,
Huh.
I don't know. It just works at the end of the day, which is
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we both seem to be able to find like little pockets that we can excel at.
Yeah.
And there's not a ton of overlap. So it ends up working perfectly, where I can kind of focus on my thing and get that dialed. And Sarah's good at stuff that I am terrible at. So it works out awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that's a partnership. She's your partner, right? In
Yeah.
every sense of the word, where you like trust her because she makes your food and you make her food. So you guys gotta kind of trust each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but amazing story. So like, you take your passion, you guys dig in, and you decide you're going to learn some new skills. And this is the stuff I love talking about, people about business resilience. Anybody that's been through it, that is like, hey, listen, you're getting, Lachlan's going through it right now. We're all kind of part of that system where it's like, how can you achieve autonomy through things that you like? And some people will come up to you when you first start a business and go, "You're insane. You're going to spend all that time and that capital to try and do something. There's lots of people that are doing it. The barrier to entry is this. You're not as creative as these companies. Like Ping already does that. Nike already does that." And you're like, "No, I'm going to do this because I love it. And the feedback I'm getting is great." But then you have to do something where you feel dumb, teach yourself how to sew because you don't know how to do it, right? Where you're like, okay, that in itself is egoless, is it not? Was
Love
that
that.
hard for you? Was it like, okay, listen, I love this so much, I'm going to teach myself how to sew, because that's a skill that you need that you don't necessarily want to go to school for or acquire, because it's fairly daunting, sir.
Yeah, truthfully, it's probably more stubbornness more than anything else.
Yeah.
I got the idea in my head, and for the most part, once I kind of set my mind to something, for better or for worse, I don't really stop until I get it all figured out. So it was just one of those things where once I decided that I wanted to try and do it, I didn't really want to give up or accept that I couldn't figure it out, and eventually just got to the point where I was competent at it, I'll say.
Is there a product, guys, that you've created that you absolutely love? Is there one piece that you guys are like, oh, this is?
I don't know if there's one piece per se. Some of the early stuff that we did was really, really cool because we were able to kind of see it start to finish. A lot of the ideas, though, that we're getting from customers for course orders and stuff like that, kind of seeing whether it be a basic sketch or just a kind of description of what they're looking for, and kind of going through the whole process of, okay, we're going to mock it up. We're going to do the things that are possible to be done. We'll steer clear of the stuff that's maybe going to not turn out as great as it could a different route. And just seeing it go from ideas on a page to a head cover in someone's bag is always a pretty rewarding thing.
The stuff is really cool.
Oh yeah, dude! Look at the catalog that they have: ball markers, great ball caps, cool stickers, head covers. They got everything. They got hoodies and everything.
You can go on and you can order individual items, obviously, but I mean, you guys do a lot of work with companies, like you said, corporate stuff, and probably a lot of golf tournaments. Do you have a sense of where most of your business comes from, Sarah?
I would say most of our business right now is coming from golf courses.
Yeah.
For gear to go in their pro shops for their members. So
okay.
I'd say right now it's golf courses for sure.
That's cool. And you work directly with these clients on what they're looking for. So there's design stuff that you guys have to do and things to that effect.
Yeah.
People like golf course logos and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have we'll have like stock designs that we can plug and play logos into. For courses that maybe not necessarily have like exactly what they're looking for, and just kind of are looking for like a little bit of direction to narrow it down, because when you're kind of looking at that blank piece of paper and you're like, all right, what do you want to do? We can kind of do anything. At times that's almost so daunting that having 10 or 12 different designs that you can change colors, add logos to, things like that, it just seems a little bit on the easier side.
Yeah, I guess it would be. It's interesting because everybody that loves the game, if you do love the game, you love all parts of the game if you're a golfer, right? And the part of the game that a lot of people love that goes unheralded, right, is the actual fashion of the game. But it's not even necessarily what you're wearing, right? It's how does your bag look? Do you have a lot of flair on your bag? Is it a little bit different? And it's amazing when you show up to the golf course with like a completely different set of clubs, how you get guys that come over to you. Literally, I'm sure you do every time you show up, because you've got a bag full of Pioneer Golf Company stuff that's super, super a la carte, right? Super unique and interesting. But you get these dudes. Like you could be on the tee block. There's like a couple other foursomes kind of warming up on the putting green. And like someone sees a cool head cover or a cool stick and they're like, what is that? They get like drawn to it. It's like golf guys are crazy. Like the most rabid people.
Yeah.
You must have that, right? Guys that are like, I love all your stuff. Send me everything. I'll whatever I want. Put my credit card on file. Send me all the new shit all the time. That's how crazy people are for golf gear now, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a niche market, but it's strong. There's a lot of passion. There's a few, like quite a few companies that do unreal work. and it's neat to see the different styles and varieties that people do come up with. Even we get it from like on our custom side with the requests that we're looking for. We get a lot of the traditional stuff, which is kind of more our bread and butter. But from time to time, we do get a wild or a crazy idea, and you're like, oh, I would never have thought of doing anything like that, but it turns out super cool.
Do you ever say no to any designs? You ever go, yeah, listen, we can't do something that looks like genitalia? No?
Kind of like the license plates.
I
You have to
haven't
say
had
no
anything
every
like
once in a while.
that yet.
Yeah. You know, like custom jerseys in the NFL shop, there's a whole list of things you can't say. on the
You
back
can't
of it.
say.
Do you have a list of things that you won't build for people or put on a head cover?
You know what? We haven't really run into that yet. That might be something where we're building the plane while it's in the air and just kind of making those decisions as they come.
Yeah. Or you do that, you'll make something that you're like, hey, listen, I don't want to tell people that we made this. It's just the guy paid a lot of money for it. We cannot put our logo on it.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
We did a unique retirement piece actually for Tyler Ennis. We're
Oh, wow.
buddies with his cousin there, so he kind of wanted to commission a piece. So we did up a few leather head covers that
That's awesome.
kind of showcased the different NHL teams that he was on and played for.
What a
over
great idea. That's
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had to
Where
make
do you-
like 60 head covers because Tyler Ennis played for 6 different teams.
I was just going to say
You
that.
just put all the different logos on one head cover.
Okay,
how
okay,
does
that's
30
smart. You could
teams
do
fit
that.
on
Yeah, yeah.
one? I've got a question about the game and to just sort of pivot a little bit away from what you guys do. I get the sense that golf kind of took a bit of a hit in the last 5-10 years, but I don't know if it was the live stuff or what, but I get a feeling, and maybe you guys are on the same page with me, AJ, Sarah, but the games, there seems to be some energy behind the game again. Am I wrong?
No, I definitely think from the recreational side, it seems that that's stronger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
As long as I've been kind of around golf. I think on the professional side, you're definitely seeing your hardcore fans, because again, it is still like a little bit of a niche sport from a viewership standpoint, especially when you don't have a Tiger Woods in the picture.
Yeah.
It just seems that maybe fans are starting to get a little bit worn down of all the noise around the sport. It's not the greatest product to watch on TV. It seems like the majority of the talks are always about money and purse sizes. So it's frustrating to see golf, the momentum of it really kind of chugging along right now, and more people are getting involved, whether it be in kind of your Top Golf driving range stuff to actually getting involved in regular golf. We're just not there. I don't think they're able to kind of capture that right now with all the noise that's going on. You're getting pulled in multiple different
that's a good
directions.
point.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, and I want to ask you about that too, because there was a culture in golf. I'm a little bit older than you. Imagine you're not 51, so I used to really appreciate the serenity around the game, the pants, the collared shirt, the quiet on the tee, that kind of stuff. It was like this really quiet, nice, peaceful place to go. Top Golf is not quiet, nor is it peaceful. And so it's like they've really splintered off the idea that golf should be for everybody. It should be fun and activity. It's not something where you take it super seriously. You go practice where you got, okay, I'm going to Top Golf to practice keeping my head down over the ball. Like, it's not something you do, right?
Yeah.
And then you see the splintering of the PGA with Liv coming in, and you see those two guys get together. And I read this morning, Steve Cohen, I don't know if you heard of this. This is New York billionaire starting something called Tomorrow's Golf League, which I believe starts this week. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, yeah. There are golf teams. Like, you can own a golf team. Ricky Fowler's in it. Xander Schauffele's in it.
Okay.
Or you can own like your entire golf team like it's a franchise, and you send these guys out to go and play in these tournaments as a team and as singles and stuff like that. Does that excite you as a younger golfer that they're mixing it up, and the PGA Tour seems to have been pierced by, other leagues that are like not so snotty and a little more fun?
I don't think that side of it bothers me. I'd say
Or are you one of those snotty purists?
I'd say I'm probably more on the purist side, but at the
Really?
same time, like, I like to listen to music on the golf course. I don't think everybody else on the golf course needs to hear what I'm listening to, but I do like it kind of for our cart and for our group. So from that side, I'd say like I kind of like some of the stuff that's Liv's doing. I think my biggest thing though is I'd love to see the best players always playing against each other. Like we've got a tournament coming up in a couple of weeks here with the Masters. It's probably everybody's favorite tournament to watch, especially in Canada. It's almost the start of our golf season, so it always is kind of good memories with stuff like that. But I mean, that's going to be the first time that we get to see all the best players in the world kind of back, with maybe a few exceptions because of kind of issues with qualifications and stuff like that. So my biggest thing is not so much that we're moving away from traditional golf per se. It's just that we're not getting to see the best players really compete at the highest level as often as
it's being segmented a little bit.
So
the industry.
Yeah.
I have a question, and this might say more about me than I'm willing to admit, but for quite a few years when I started golf, my wife was better than me. And so there was a lot of anger around the sport for me. Like it brought up deep emotions.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on 13 and she's 3 strokes ahead of me.
Yeah.
I had a hard time dealing with that. So I did spend some time in the parking lot in the car by myself on a couple of golf trips. Sarah, how are you compared to AJ?
I'm surprisingly, I'm not a golfer yet.
Okay.
I do want to commit to practicing and being able to hit the ball. So that's where I'm at. But I do have a decked out golf bag. So I guess.
Okay,
of course you do.
She's geared up. She's geared up.
Yeah. You're one of those people that shows up to the course and you got a bag and it's on your shoulder and you got the visor and you got all the gear. And then you're like, okay, now I gotta go.
I'm just along for the snacks and maybe a beverage or two.
Yeah, as you should be.
I'm there for the beverages quite often as well.
Yeah. I used to be too. It's funny because I remember I used to call it swing oil.
Yeah.
And I used to and I legitimately, this is a true story. So I played in this pro-am years ago and I was like 2 over after 3 and I'm like, I need a drink. I went 5 under over the next 6 holes. And I'm like, That's it. Have more drinks on the back. 10 over on the back. So that's when I stopped drinking. But it was so fun. Like this is the thing about it, right? Like I remember when the pandemic hit. Did you guys start the business during the pandemic, by the way?
It was just before.
Yeah. Is that fun?
No, it was. It might have been one of the best things that happened. It really forced us to get creative. It forced us to source out material from more locations. We try and keep as much of our material local as possible and kind of support other local businesses through that. So it was really difficult with closures, companies running out of the products they were selling, not being able to replace them with shipping and stuff like that. So we got very good at finding out all the different places that we could get what we needed. It was super stressful at the start, but I do think that it kind of it forced us very early on to it's either like figure it out or move on.
Find black market supplies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Guy named Jerry showed up at the back of the warehouse.
Yeah. I feel like you're doing something wrong. Hey, dude, you got the fabric.
Listen, guys, I don't want to
unload the fabric in front of the cameras.
I really want to thank you guys for your time. And I know I talked to Ardent and Stacy about your involvement in the tournament, and he was thrilled to have you guys again involved, but this year in an even bigger role as the title sponsor of that tournament, which is happening at the Ranch Golf and Country Club on Friday, July 5th. If you go to ardenroofsystems.com, you can sign up, register yourself as I believe he's got a couple of sponsorship opportunities still available. So if you're in the Edmonton area, you might want to give him a shout and touch base with him on that. But sign yourself up as an individual or a team. I will be hosting that day. The Ranch is a fun place to do a tournament. They get the famous steak dinner And then Arden also has a massive silent auction every year, which raises a ton of money as well for the Stollery Child Life program. So you guys, I know Stacy was, again, he was thrilled. He called me right away when you guys signed up to be the title sponsor. And I said, well, then we're going to get him on the podcast and talk about this amazing local company that, by the way, does a lot of work right across the country. So if you're listening to this in Ontario or you're listening to this in Halifax and you're looking for something cool, you might want to check out their webpage. Dean, do you want to throw it up one more time before we
absolutely
sign off with them?
I would love to. Pioneer Golf is the name of the company. PioneerGolfCompany.ca is where you can find this.
Beautiful.
These are good people, salt of the earth people from
Great
Edmonton,
webpage, too.
Alberta, Canada, and they make incredible flair for golf.
Yeah.
The small batch stuff that you're looking for, kind of personalize your golf game a little bit, towels, accessories. They've got unbelievable sticks. Do you have some X stiffs in there? X stiffs, maybe an inch longer than normal. Yeah, no, X stiffs for Dino. No,
I need a little bit longer, and I need it to be a lot like a hockey stick.
it's a lie. He doesn't know what he needs. He has no idea what he needs. He just wants some free stuff. Don't give it to him.
I swing as hard as I can.
Yeah. But dude, check this out. This is for every Canadian company. You can buy from anywhere, but you should buy Canadian from people who legitimately started
Good
this
point.
and decided to be part of this business because they love it and they're a great little Canadian success story. And I'm pretty sure that's Phil Mickelson's butt in the front page of the picture. I could be
Is that
wrong.
Phil's bum?
Is that Phil's bum? A bunch of them.
That's AJ's bum. That's AJ's bum.
Is that your bum?
That's
AJ?
a golfer's bum.
Great
Look
rig,
at that.
dude. Yeah, you nice little golf rig on you.
Yeah, golfer and hockey player.
Oh, yeah. I see
So
why
you got
Sarah's in
bad
love.
knees.
Yeah. Sarah, AJ, thanks so much. PioneerGolfCompany.ca is where you can check these guys out. Title sponsor for the Ardent Roof Systems Stollery Child Life Program Invitational, where you can sign up. Go to
I think you just made up a whole new name for the golf tournament. That's awesome, Dean.
Yeah, well,
It's the NyQuil.
Dayquil. On two of them. AJ, sorry, I didn't mean to be super greased up on cold medication.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you
Fun.
guys. We
Yeah,
really
thanks.
appreciate you taking some time this morning. That's awesome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Appreciate it, guys.